Hey, so take it away, Amber. Let's hear your story.
Okay, so thanks for jumping on, you guys. I know night times are crazy, especially with kids running around, and my dogs are clearly driving me nuts right now. Um, but it's important to stay connected, and not just in the mornings, but at night before we go to bed. Our thoughts matter. How and what we focus on, it will grow, it will manifest. And so connecting at night is just as important as it is connecting in the morning. But I started this business with a negative bank account. And Z, stop it. Get.
These are her dogs, not her children, so you guys know.
I had to let the crazy one out, or she just like growls or something. She was being too crazy. But I started this business, like Dana said, 6 years ago this month. And it's crazy to think, you guys, I have a 7-year-old. And just days before I delivered him, our lights were actually shut off. And our fear was coming home from the hospital with no electricity. And that was about a year later when I found this business, and I actually jumped in and gave it what I thought was just going to be trying the products. And I said, I would never do a business like this. People like me, we just don't do very well. I'm not a salesman. I'm a hairstylist. And it's just not for me. I'm not lucky. That's it. Right. I don't know people. I didn't want to get out and do anything. I have 2 babies at home. I'm busy. And something had just told me, like, you have to do this business. And I was like, okay, fine. I'll pay my $99, but I'm still not going to do the business. And a couple days later, about 2 weeks later, my kit came in, and my husband he said, I really think we have something in our hands, and I want to look more into it. And so we did. And we saw not just what products we had, but the company we had. We had a debt-free company. Okay. Still debt-free today, obviously. So I wasn't worried about it going under. That had happened to Josh when he worked for the largest bank in the world. And he went in on Monday, and they said, hey, by the way, today's your last day. You have until 11 p.m. or 11 o'clock. You're gone. We're done. We're closing up shop. And so we knew what that's like, and it's not fun. It's not exciting at all by any means. And so when I tried the wrap and I signed up, again, I wanted to use the products. I saw results with the wrap, and I think every single person deserves to see the wrap. And if you have started this business and you haven't tried a genuine wrap right, do that. That will definitely strengthen your testimony and our flagship product that nobody else has. Nobody else has the wrap. And so I got started, and again, my kit came about 2 weeks later, and we knew what we were in. We knew that we had a blessing in our hand, that this was an answer to a prayer to help get us out of that financial rut that we were in. And I said, you know what? I don't know business. All I know is how many women would ache to feel confident. They would ache to have that skin from 2 babies. You guys, they gain 100 pounds with one and 80 with another. And they would have that confidence again. And that's why I chose being a stylist, was because people sat in my chair feeling gross. And when they left, they felt great. And it was like, I was like, this is my dream job, right? And alongside this company, that's exactly what we do too. We find a solution to people's problems, or something that they don't love, and help them become confident and in their own skin or in their own health. And so when I started showing people my results, that's when my business took off. And so if you don't have your own results, I would highly recommend doing a 90-day challenge with the products and choosing what products you want to try, and really getting your own before and after pictures corporate approved. Okay. And so once I started slinging wraps on people left and right, my business went nuts. I was ignorance on fire. I didn't know what the heck was in them. I didn't even know we had other products. All I knew is I had wraps. I had spent $100 I didn't have on a credit card that was maxed out, and I needed to make money. And so I told anyone and everyone, I said, hey, I have this product. You have to try it. It's $25. You need to try it. And I did that over and over and over again. And as people tried the product, and 45 minutes later, they saw results and they were sold. I didn't really have to say much of anything. And that was how I went diamond in 3 months. I worked full-time in the salon with, again, 2 babies at home. My husband worked full-time, and we would switch at night. I would go and drop off the kids to him, and 5 nights out of the week, 6 nights out of the week, I was at wrap parties and wrap appointments at nights, and I would be home at midnight, and I'd wake up in the morning, and I'd be mom, and I'd work a full-time job, and then again, I'd switched again, and my husband would take the kids, and there was many nights I didn't tuck my kids in bed, and many nights I never ate dinner with my family. But now I have the freedom to choose where I want to eat, when I want to eat, and with who. And I get to really have the freedom, and that small term sacrifice really pays off big time when you keep going, okay? When you make that schedule for yourself and you say, this is the only time that I have. I no longer watch TV at nights. I no longer, I didn't go out with my girlfriends maybe once a month because I had a legacy to build. And I know that this business loves speed. And if I stay focused on what I want, and that was at first $200 to help my husband, right? And then it was, okay, now I can make my car payment. What if I could pay my mortgage? And then I paid my mortgage. And that was exciting and fun. And I thought, if I can make $1,000 a month, why can't I make 2? And if I can make 2, why can't I make 6? And if I can make 6, why can't I make 12? This comp plan is endless. And I know it's easier said than done, but you have to understand why you're doing it. If you're only doing it for $200 and you get there, you're not going to make it to that 1,000. You're going to be completely comfortable with the $200. And so I always had to challenge, and still to this day, you guys, I still get that cap where I'm like, this is all I'm worth. This is all I'm capable of. And you have to break through that mental mindset of this is it. This is all. There's no way. There's too many people making $25,000 that there's not enough for me. That's not true. And this comp plan is built to pay each and every single one of us over $1 million a month. $1 million a month, you guys. That is what this comp plan is made of. And I understand that's big money and you guys can't wrap your head around that. And that's fine. But wrap your head around 10,000. Because the amount of people that make $10,000 a month in this company is insane. And if they can do it, why can't you? If I can do it, why can't you? The only difference between somebody who's done it and somebody who hasn't is they've worked a little bit harder, faster. And a lot of times we want to work minimum longer. But again, this business loves speed. And so if you're trying to take off in an airplane out of a runway, they don't coast. They go from 0 to 100 real quick to take off. And that's what we have to do in this business. And so I'm sorry if you guys can hear my kids. They're in the basement playing because it's finally free and they're like having a heyday. But about 8 months in, again, it was 8 months of many nights away from my family. And people asked Josh, I said, is that hard? Is it hard to have your wife away every night? And he goes, yeah, it's hard, but it's short term to our long-term goals of having him home and having freedom. And at the time, again, you guys, I had a 1-year-old and a almost 4-year-old, and I needed him home. And so about 8 months in, we hit triple diamond, and we were making over 5 figures a month. And I said, hurry and cash out. This money can't be real. Like, if they take this money back, like, this is like lottery money. And
sometimes I still do that. I find myself on payday. I'm like, oh, hurry, transfer. Is it going to be in my bank? And it still surprises me. And you guys, Amber and I were friends 6 years, I think, prior to this business. You guys, she tried for 2 months to tell me about this business. I ignored her or talked to her about anything else but this business. So even one of her best friends still just kind of, yeah, whatever, you're crazy, lady. I joined exactly 2 months after, and we're still together here 6 years later. My 6-year mark is October 15th, you guys, and that was someone, we were together almost every single day. I lived with her best friend, so we literally saw each other, talked on the phone somehow, and I still avoided her. But finally on the 15th, I took the leap. And so if you have that best friend that you're thinking about, call them up, because trust me, it's worth it. Finally, I was like, oh, fine, whatever. I'll just prove her wrong. Well, obviously she proved me wrong because I'm here. I'm a triple diamond and 6 years later. So you guys, it is so worth it to get out of that comfort zone that she's talking about.
And it does. And the consistency really pays off, you guys. But when people say no, it just means no right now. And you keep going. And at 8 months in, when I was able to finally retire Josh from his business, now mind you, he worked for another network marketing company, corporate side. And to bring him home and be like, we found a better company. Sorry. They didn't really like it. But I did. And he came home for about 3.5 years, about 3 or 4 years. And then my kids went to school full time. And so I no longer needed him in the house and, full time. And I could run my business and take care of 2 kids in school now. And so he went back to work. Being able to choose work is a lot better than having to go to work. And so even having, not every husband should come home and be Mr. Mom, but even just saying, you know what, my husband doesn't have to work 2 jobs, he can just work 1. Or, oh, my husband doesn't have to pick up overtime shifts, he can just, work his normal schedule. Then that's why you need to work this business. And now today he's looking at all kinds of different jobs just because he can. And that's the true freedom. I can do eyelashes and hair because I can, not because I have to. And it feels a lot different knowing that I have control over my schedule versus somebody else. And so a year later we went presidential, and a year later we went ambassador. And I always thought that ambassador was like, you were like so crazy, that there was only a handful of people that would ever make it to the top of the company, because that's what I had heard my entire life. These companies are a joke. You'll never make it. None of my friends made it. So why would I make it to the top? But why wouldn't you make it to the top? And that's something that I really want you guys to ask yourself is, am I doing what's required day by day by day to make it to the top of the company or wherever you want to go? You guys, if you only want to be diamond, hey, go for it, right? But I'll tell you what, there's a lot bigger blessings when you push yourself to be and see and do other things than what you think you're capable of. And that's kind of the main message that I want to share with you guys, is that if somebody else has done it, why can't you? Why can't you? What's the difference? You can say, oh, I'm a single mom. How many single moms have made it to the top? Lots. Oh, I have an unsupportive husband. Welcome to 99.9% of the women in this business. Like, that's nothing like to stop yourself over. Oh, I don't have any friends that want to do this business. Cool. Perfect. Go find strangers, right? My very first distributor that I ever signed up was a complete stranger, and she's still in the business 6 years later. And so that's exciting and fun. And so that very first party that I ever did is still paying off 6 years later. And she's one of my dear friends. But she's somebody that will always be my friend in the business or out of the business, And so I think a lot of times we're used to going to work, getting paid for it 2 weeks later, and then going again and getting paid 2 weeks later. And every 2 weeks we get a paycheck for the 2 weeks that we showed up. And if we showed up only a week and a half, we only get paid for a week and a half. This business is different. When I went triple diamond and I saw that check, I felt like I had gotten a back paycheck for all the nights away from my family. That I didn't come home and get a bonus sitting at my door when I was gone for 6 hours away from my family, But when I went triple diamond, I was like, there it is. I get it now. And I would do it over and over and over and over again, knowing that if I worked that hard and sacrificed that little, which seemed like the end of the world at the time, you guys. But you know what? My kids don't remember that. They remember now that we have the option to homeschool them online and travel the world. That's what they remember, is right now when they're 7 and 11, not when they were 1 and 4. Not when dad tucked him in so many nights and mom never tucked him in. They don't remember that. They remember right now. And so if you have little kids, we just drop it in the chat. If you have kids at all, we just drop how old they are. And the other perspective is maybe your kids are a little bit older. Maybe they're in their 15s. Okay, you only have a handful of years left with them before they're gone. right? Before they're in college. And I'll tell you what, I don't know if you're anything like me, but once I was out of there, I was out of there. And so if you have people on your team that have 15, 16 years old, work hard for 1 year and get the best of the last two, right? So I think a lot of it has to do with your perspective. What are you going to do in the business? And have fun doing it. This shouldn't be a 27-hour-a-day job. If you're feeling overwhelmed, then that's something that you need to do a reality check on. Are you getting on social media and being intentional with it? Are you getting out of your house? I don't know about you guys. I get seasonal depression. If I do not get out of my house at least once a day, game over. I have to. And it allows me to work my business outside of social media as well as within social media. But you should be able to work this business around a full-time job, around kids, and be successful in it. Just because you see other people who work this business via social media 24/7 doesn't mean that you have to, but it definitely means that you should try. And
what do you want to say about that? Me and Amber both have learned this probably this past year. I don't want to say better is not the word I'm looking for, but our businesses grew when we were out doing things, when we were out running errands. I'm an esthetician, Amber's a hairstylist. We started going back to the salon maybe once a month or twice a month, whatever that looks like, just getting out of the house. I know all of you are working either full-time or you're single moms or your moms. Everyone on here, I believe, is a mom. Except for Edie. I don't think she is. But all of you guys are working full-time and getting out there. You guys, I was busier in my business when I was working 2 jobs. That's when I was talking to people. I was out there interacting with people compared to about a year and a half ago. I'm like, oh, sweet. I don't have to go to work every day. I found myself sitting at my house, not ready for the day. And I'm like, I think it's been 3 days. I should probably touch the hair, do something. And I found my enrollments going down because I was not out talking to people. Social media is amazing and fabulous, but you also get to interact with people because I believe everyone on here has a job, correct? Yes, everyone on here. So you're out there, talk to people because you are going to see so many more benefits talking to people and going belly to belly, most likely compared to your social media.
And you guys, I don't know, maybe I'm just crazy, a little cuckoo, but I truly believe that what you set, you can find. And if I'm going to go pick up hair color or drop my kids off at daycare or run errands or pick up groceries, put your phone down. Put your phone down and be aware. Be aware of the lady in front of you her card just declined. Be aware of the lady who's like, oh yeah, I just got done with my 3rd job for the day, right? Like, beware of conversation and ask God to bless you with the people that need this business. Pray morning and night for the right people to come into your space. And it is a miracle what can happen when you set that clear intention of like, today's the day. I know it is. If you guys haven't listened to a book called E Squared, it's really crazy and good. And then there's E Cubed, and it talks about your thoughts, and it talks about limitations and limiting beliefs that you have against money. It talks about limiting beliefs that you have against yourself because we were raised that you can't have it all. You're selfish. You're greedy if you have a lot of money. You're greedy if you make too much money. Oh, you're being braggy, and so grab those books. But I really want you guys to be intentional when you wake up in the morning. What are you going after? Why do you do this business? And ask yourself why 27 times. Okay, so why are you doing this business? Because of my kids. Why? Because I don't want to miss time with them. Why? Because when I grew up, my parents weren't there. Why? Because I want to be a better mom than my mom and dad were. Ask yourself why 27 times to really dig deep into why you're doing this business. And write it down and read it 3 times a day if you have to. But when you have a solid why and you know that this is something that you want to do, you guys, this is so fun. And it's been the best. It's the longest job I've ever kept in my life. But I don't know about anybody else, but I wasn't made for a normal life. And I knew that. And that's why I wanted to, be a salon owner, run my own business. Zaylee, stop it. That's my dog. But I wanted to be something different and make a change in a way that not everyone was. And this business can be that vehicle to get you whatever dream that you want to be when you believe it, you have a strong enough why, and you're intentional. You got to go out there and ask people. And think if you aren't asking, you're taking. Because I think had the girl that signed me up not asked me, how different my life would be. She literally could have taken freedom away from me. But she was brave enough to ask, even though I told her like, hey, I just brought my sister-in-law to this appointment so I can get $5 off. That's how broke I am. And she still asked me. She didn't spend my money for me. And we do that a lot, right? We think, oh, I can't afford the Fit 15, so I'm not going to even talk about it. Or I can't even afford the business, so I know my friend can't. Oh my gosh, her husband just lost his job. She doesn't work. I'm not even going to ask her. Those are the people that are aching for a blessing and a prayer to be answered, and you could be that for them if you just ask.
And I absolutely love that. So we have Lindsay that has, so what do you say to the lady with the decline card? Nobody wants that brought to attention, but I found myself wanting to talk to them.
That's really good. I'm guessing that you're talking about like at a grocery store when you see them swipe. Okay, so this happened one time, basically the same thing. This lady, and the feelings will come to you actually before you hear the swiped card or the declined card. This voice, I was actually with Aspen Emery, our FDR, and this voice was like, talk to this girl. And I was like, I'm not talking to her. I'm with Aspen. She's going to think I'm crazy. She doesn't even really know me. She's the field development regional. What if I mess up? What if I say something wrong? Like literally it was like 10 minutes of chatter in 2.5 seconds. And it was like, this girl could really use this business. You better, just try it on. And I was like, I just don't know that I can. And then she busted out the wick. And I was like, now I really can't talk to her because she's going to think that I'm only talking to her because she's on WIC. Like how embarrassing, right? Like I would go to WIC at midnight so nobody would see me. I know that feeling. I don't know about anybody else, but I've been there. And so then she went this way and I went this way and I turned to Aspen and I said, I was supposed to talk to that girl about the business and I'm scared. I just can't do it. And she was like, you better go talk to her right now. And I turned around and I grabbed her shoulders and I said, I'm really sorry. This is so awkward. But I had this feeling when I was standing in line to tell you about what I do for work. Do you work right now? Or she had her kids with her. I said, are you a stay-at-home mom? And she goes, are you only talking to me because I had WIC? I said, I honestly didn't even see that far after I had the feeling. I said, but I've been on WIC too. And I related to her. And when you can relate to them or, understand them, they are okay and they're more open, they're more comfortable with it. And so, we sat there and we talked for 45 minutes at Walmart. And she goes, I actually do another company. I just haven't been able to get it off the ground. And I said, let me help you. I'm more than happy to help you. If this is business, if this vehicle isn't for you and you truly feel like your company is your vehicle, let's add each other on Facebook. I'd be happy to help you and see if I can't help you in your business. And really genuinely. And so anyways, she started posting again and nothing went on with it, because she didn't have the right vehicle. And still to this day, I know one day she'll join my team, but she hasn't, but we're still friends. And so we'll be able to relate to them, be genuine, be thoughtful. Don't go up, run up to them and be like, hey, do you want to do a business with me? I heard that your card declined, right? Like that's awkward. But if you can just relate to them and be genuine and just ask God to give you the right words. Because sometimes I stutter and I cry in front of these strangers and I'm like, I'm really sorry, this is awkward. And they can relate to me and they're more apt to say yes when you're genuine.
Absolutely love that. So does anyone else have anything else to ask Amber? Questions? You guys, she went from electricity almost being shut off to...
Oh, it was shut off.
It was shut off. To an ambassador diamond, making over $30,000 a month. Because she got to work. She did it. And so I think the biggest thing that we do in our business is the steps to success. Mm-hmm. Do you want to give one tip on the steps to success?
Yeah. I would definitely print them off every month. Again, setting that intention. I'm not going to wait until I sign up a customer to go write them down. I'm going to make sure that I have my paper ready for those customers when I have them to write them down. But then the second thing that I've really noticed throughout this 6 years, you guys, is don't give up. Like right now, it's what, the 20th of the month. I haven't signed a distributor this month. It doesn't mean that I can't still complete my steps to success. I could sign up 3 in one day. But usually people by the 10th or oh my gosh, that lightning was so close. Did you guys see that? Holy fitch.
I just turned the thunder on my end over here.
Oh, I'm so scared of these fires again. But if you, usually by the 10th, if people are like, oh, I don't like thunderstorms. If by the 10th they're like, I haven't signed anyone up, they stop. And you're like, I'll start in September. Don't, because you never know what day the 20 days of my work is going to pay off. And that's happened a lot of months. There was a month in December. I literally didn't sign up a single person until the 25th, and I still completed my steps to success in 5 days. But had I given up after those 25 days, I would have never done it. And so keep going day by day by day. Don't look for an action and a payout, an action and a payout. You do action upon action upon action upon action, and you will see the payout in the customers, in the distributors. But if we aren't doing the daily tasks, like asking 10 people or messaging 20 or even posting about the opportunity or the customers, then we're not going to get it. So print your steps to success, carry them with you, and again, be intentional about who you're asking and what you're posting.
I absolutely love that. Girls, I'm so glad that you got to listen to Amber tonight. This will be recorded and posted in our team page by tomorrow. If you don't follow her on Facebook, go follow her on Facebook. She's an amazing leader. She's been in for 6 years. She's my sponsor, and so she's not going anywhere. And so, and if she does, she's going to be slapped by me. But
I don't get
you guys. This is what it's all about. And for her getting to the top, all it took was completing the steps to success each and every single month. And she can tell you this too. She's not a mass enroller, but she does do the steps to success.
And you guys, a lot of it too is growing yourself. Where's your belief? Who are you hanging out with? I feel like I have a master's, PhD, whatever degree, and I've never stepped foot a day in college in my life in system sales and marketing and leadership and friendship, and how to be a kind freaking human being, you know? And I used to be rough and hard and gangster, but I really had to grow and learn how to be adaptable and flexible and learn how to run a business. And so study those things, right? Otherwise, when you get frustrated, you're going to fall.
And she's huge into personal development. So if none of you guys read a book, what is your number one book you would recommend to go either purchase right now, get online, listen to, whatever that looks like?
Excuse my language, but it's You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. It was the book that took me to presidential. I listened to it probably close to 100 times. And I needed someone else as my cheerleader besides my own voice, which clearly wasn't helping any. And so it's called You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. She has a new book out called You Are a Badass at Making Money. And that one is going to take us black diamond because it is phenomenal. There's tons. I have hundreds, you guys. I have hundreds and hundreds of books. I went to a retreat one time and they're like, Amber, after the retreat, they're like, Amber, do you have a book for this? Amber, I'm like, I'm not a library, you guys. I just really like enjoying growing and new perspectives and understanding different things. And so I would start with that book. I'm pretty sure you can find it on Audible or YouTube. And then The Strangest Secret, not The Secret, but The Strangest Secret. It's really awesome. It's a 30-minute audiobook that you can listen to morning and night to really set the tone for your day and to erase the day and start a new day. So those are probably the 2 books I would recommend.
I love that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Amber, for putting into us tonight. You guys, I love you lots. Print out those steps to success. If you have not already, print them out and let's get them done. We have 11 days of this month to make things happen. And those promotions, a lot of you guys are like inches away from a promotion. And even if you're not inches away, a lot can happen in 10 days. Trust me, I've seen it. So if you want something, go for it. Have an amazing night tonight, and I will talk to you guys soon.
See ya.